We ask our people to be resilient, but in truth and in fact, the resilience that was shown in the battle at Adwa, the marching for over 1,000 kilometers for 150 days, the marshalling of women, the cutting off of water to the opponents, to the enemy, the ensuring that women were there to be able to tend to those who were wounded but able to feed people, the ability for you to use what you had mastered in terms of the cavalry, in terms of your own weapons, against the power of gunfire, gunpowder and cannons, and that you could win these 3 battles, and the last one being won in less than 1 day is simply an example of the power of unity and the ability for us, when we come together in common purpose, how we can overcome any obstacle and defeat any enemy. This is an inspiring story for all of us who face challenges in today's world and who ask our people to build the resilience necessary. It tells us that each generation must be equal to the challenges of its time. This battle at Adwa clearly sent shockwaves through the European world. But more importantly than the shockwaves it sent through the European world, it inspired the people of Africa and the people of African descent in the Caribbean and in the Americas. We see here the visible evidence of the emergence of the Pan-African movement and the Pan-African congresses that took place thereafter. We see evident the involvement of Caribbean people, but in particular my own Barbadian people. I was touched to find that one of the founders of my own party, Christy Brathwaite, was involved in this movement here. I knew before of the participation of Arnold Ford and Mignon Ford, Barbadians who moved to Ethiopia, and indeed their children, Abby Ford, who have contributed greatly to the Pan-African movement through the composition of the anthem of the UNIA, and who equally, through Mignon, through the establishment of a school here in Ethiopia. So when we come to Ethiopia, we come not as strangers, we come as family, and we come in common purpose to see how we can rekindle the partnerships and the solidarity that in the past have won us great battles that people never gave us the chance of winning. That Ethiopia stood up to all colonizers not once, but twice, inspired those who did not have voices and those who did not have the luxury of conquest or victory. And I really do hope that this wonderful memorial and museum, which has recently been completed, I'm told, is captured not just in physical terms here, but the virtual expression of the story told here, that it be sent across the world, not just this time to the people of Africa and African descent, but to all people, because it really does show that when people put their minds to being able to work together in common cause and they stay focused, because they didn't get to the end of the battle in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. It was a long march, and therefore what was required was consistency as well as solidarity and purpose. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see firsthand. I want to commend the government for the excellent way in which they are capturing the stories of the past to kindle inspiration for the people of now and the people who will come in the future. Because if you know your history, then you are at best prepared not to repeat the mistakes and to be inspired by the victories.